started to descend. I just felt like Benji is out here doing this great thing to get some more content out there. I'm going to try to do the same. And boy, that has seemed to be a good decision for me as David is going first, and he picks some good scoring tiles. Certainly not a bingo here.
Cat wine. I like cats and wine. That sounds great. I'm sold. Anyone want to come over for cats and wine?
Oh man, that's a good combination, I would think. Yeah. So, all right. So for anyone again who remembers watching Ben Schoenbrun play earlier, do not expect those tiles to be very readable. He is going to have them in every different direction. Upside down on their side, upside down on their side. Some of them are right side up, just to throw in a little twist. But we're going to do our best to make sense of the letters that he has. So what to do here for Dave? Play caw or something longer? That's really stylistic. I think I would probably play wince here, though.
I'd play wince, as in Wince Castellano.
Yeah, whose son Josh is competing.
Yeah, I would definitely play. I'd play wince here.
Yep, seems reasonable. Get that W and the C off and score 28 points. Caw scores significantly less, and even though it keeps a good bingo leave, it doesn't create a board that's that helpful for bingoing with that C out in space. That's very likely to be obstructed by a parallel play underneath. So I don't know. I think I'm happy with this from Dave, and we're gonna see. Oh wow, okay. I thought we would see Zex here.
Yeah, I thought we would see Zex, but as promised, Ben likes to play pretty fast. So,
is there any upside for the X after this that I'm not understanding? Because I would definitely have expected to see Zex for 43 go down on top of Wince. But this is still a solid play.
I think he just played too fast, I'm guessing. I think he just missed it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Ben's record. I'm seeing 6 and 7. I'm wondering if this is one of those situations I alluded to earlier where Ben's top level game is just so high, one of the best players you're likely to encounter. But when you start to sort of pile up the losses from bad drawing or maybe a tough game here or there, sometimes you might get some of these types of plays from him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize his record was 6 and 7 because I think at the end of yesterday wasn't his record 6 and 2.
It was better. Yeah, it was better than this. So a question from the Loco Croco. How did David get a tie?
He tied David.
So he tied another player named David. Yeah. So ties are pretty random, or rather pretty rare, I should say, is the word I'm looking for. Random is not entirely wrong, but it's very, very rare in Scrabble. Certainly much rarer than in chess, where draws are pretty common. I think I quoted my own statistics of I've tied like 5 or 6 games in like well over 1,000 tournament games. So it happens every so often. Yeah, I guess my end game needs work.
That is amazing. Like I have to imagine. I mean, I can look myself up just on cross tables, which would cover, I don't know, 70% of the tournament games that I've played. But
sure.
I know that I've had multiple tournaments where I've had 2 ties just in the tournament.
Wow.
I have 11 ties in NASPA tournaments specifically. So I'd say probably across all things, probably closer to 15, 20.
Maybe I have. Let me just check. I mean,
I have you up. So.
Oh, okay. We have the right guy in chat too.
Yeah, 5.
Seth Lipkin. Hello, nice 5. To see you. I have 5. Okay, so I was correct in my hunch. So tie percentage is less than 1%. It is pretty uncommon, but I feel like given the sheer number of games that are played over the course of a tournament, as we see Twilit be played, how interesting. That's a fun word. It scores 18 points, but I'm just wondering why not something like ZD keeping such a powerful leave together. But that's, it's a reasonable choice, I guess. What do you have any thoughts about Twilit here? Just ZD would have left AELT, so that's why I'm. But Dave, look at that draw though. So
yeah, so in this case it didn't matter, but I'm gonna throw my money with CT as well.
Yeah, so either way, Dave's drawn that blank, and he's for sure going to bingo here. And I guess it's up to Benji to try to come up with, and that's going to be pretty nice. Telex with 5 overlaps. Yeah, seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Another, I guess you could potentially play Exert if you wanted to. Also parallel. I'm not sure how that stacks up between LW and RW. It seems pretty. I guess you do get a couple extra points from the X going both ways if you play Exert instead. So you maybe get a little extra, but very, very close plays. So we like that play from Ben, Telex.
Well, Loco Croco, welcome back. If we knew you once upon a time, we're glad you're back. If we didn't know you once upon a time, we're glad you're back.
Wow, look at this nice play by David Whitley here. Adicule. That is the only play that is the only 8-letter word that scores more than the plays hooking winced. So nice find. That's actually really, really nice.
Strategy asks thoughts on Zit instead of ZT. That's the sort of thing that's getting debated a lot nowadays. I don't know where those debates are going. I would say personally that it's not even close, especially on this board. I mean, if you had a board where there are a lot of open consonants, I suppose, or like the pool dictated keeping an extra vowel, then maybe that. I don't know. What do you think, Will? Do you ever go for those vowel heavy volatile leaves?
I confess that I have dabbled in that in the past and have never felt like it worked out very well for me. I went through a phase. I went through a vowel phase, a rebellious vowel phase where I would keep the extra vowel if it was a good bingo vowel, even if it imbalanced my leave, just so that I could max out that bingo percentage. And I am over that phase. I have now mellowed out and prefer if I'm going to have an imbalance of something, I would prefer that it be consonants. So I guess there is a school of thought that, maybe sometimes keeping those extra bingo tiles together is quote unquote better mathematically somehow. But I don't know. It just feels like that level of variance of either you get a bingo or you have a weak scoring play because you have too many low point vowels is, I think having things be smoother in outcome is desirable. So
yeah, I think it's there's a time and a place for it, and it's this is personally, I would say, not the time, but
So a nice bingo by David Whitley of Adicule. That's just really quite nice. Oh, question was any doubles through LI? No, Adicule was the highest scoring play available for David there. So that's he well spotted to him. So Ben is Ben what's he gonna do? Is he thinking of playing like Ren or something? Is he? Wow, he's deking us. Yeah, I feel like he was about to play Ren. Maybe he'll play Noob.
Where's No Spot doesn't have the J for Bungie.
I know. Yeah, dude, that is sad. Unfortunately, it would be great to see Ben play Bungie on stream. Oh, interesting. He's going to play Braun or Bon here.
Or maybe unbronze.
Beautiful. That would be quite the creative play if he plays unbronze. I guess that would, if you're very weak, that's what you have, unbrawn.
I have unbrawn for sure.
That's well.
I don't do 50 push-ups in front of the UPS guy.
Oh wow, pulling that story out. So, yeah, I mean that's definitely that was a funny interaction that I did have. I did that in my bathrobe, actually, of all things. Getting furniture delivered. So he plays Braun. I'm just wondering, like, why not keep the R if you're going to go this route? I would keep that R just because you have the Windsor spot as a possibility, and just in general, if you want to keep more bingo tiles together. You're only taking a 1-point hit to keep a pretty nice bingo tile on your rack there. I would, if you're gonna play up there, I would play Bond for sure.
Yeah. I agree. Bond definitely feels like the right thing to do. Again, I guess a lot of vowels have been played. Maybe Ben has determined the tile pool to be pretty consonant heavy, but
possible. But then again, it's really early. Oh my God!
Yeah, noob is better.
Does anybody see what? Okay, Zooglia. Oh man, there is just a gigantic play here from LI on the board.
I saw it. I was gonna let people find it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm just not sure. I don't have a great understanding. Ben surprises me a lot of the time with knowing words that I don't expect him to know and then not knowing words that I do expect him to know. So I have no read on whether he knows this word of lispound. It plays off of LI on the board. And there's another spelling of it too here. So
I don't know why he'd know something Collins that is that low probability. If it were a TWL word, like the American English Dictionary that he used to play, but
oh man,
I just don't know if he would know this word.
Let me update the scores here. David's play of Sink puts him up high. That was a pretty uncontroversial play. He had to play his cue without. Ooh, where is he putting that tile? Where is that tile going?
Wrong place, Benji. Benji.
Where's that tile going?
Benji, what are you doing? No.
Oh, this feels like
no.
All right. Well, that felt a little bit like one of those carnival games where you're trying to control the arm to get a toy, right? Like,
yeah. I would have had that down so fast Whitley wouldn't have known what had hit him.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean,
what had list pounded him for that.
Pretty much. What pounded him exactly. So,
yeah. But hello to Raw Jersey, who is definitely from New Jersey, and Mitsurugi. How's it going? And King of Lettuce as well. Yeah, it does seem like Ben might be a little autopilot tilty, whatever. I think he might be 0-5 today, and at best 1-4. I think so. I mean, again, no idea if he knew the word, but yeah. So the Whitleys now have a lot of vowels, but having that second blank is certainly gonna come in handy. This seems like it's either an exchange or probably an exchange. And now I do have to wonder. I'm not looking at the tile pool right now, but it seems like it's probably very consonant heavy. So I do wonder if this is a situation where holding on to an A was right. It may not be. I mean, it looks like only one A has been played.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the question that was asked earlier, I'm not sure if it was about keeping vowel heavy leaves early in the game where you can know less about the tile pool, right? It's very, like, at the very, very start of the game, the question of keeping that extra vowel is more salient just because it is more stylistic. But this late in the game, when you can look at the tile pool and see some concrete trends starting to emerge, then yeah, there's absolutely times when you can look at the pool and say, wow, there's a lot of consonants. I'll keep A-E here instead of just an E or something like that. I don't think that was the question. Yeah, keeping vowel heavy leaves on boards that don't have scoring options, right? Which is more of a debatable topic.
So this is going to be a fun next play for David, who has, K lead, but he'll be able to play Ladylike, or maybe something Kylie, which scores a bunch, leaving A blank, and he sees Ladylike.
He sure does. Yeah.
Find, I'm
just curious that David has arranged his tiles that way. I mean, we were talking about things like picking up on behaviors of your opponent, whether they have tells, right? Like if you notice that your opponent only puts their tiles like that and crosses his arms in satisfaction.
Yeah, this is
when he has
that is a tell if I have ever seen one.
Yeah, that's that's something to note there. But yeah, so Ben's gonna go ahead and play Gov. That's a pretty reasonable play here, getting rid of some of his weaker bingo tiles and saving the better ones. But David Whitley is about to lay a pretty nice play down, ladylike for 90 points. That's going to hammer Benji. Benji, so Ben is drawing his new tiles and observing the bad news there that he's about to get hit with 90 more points and be down by roughly 100. So let's see what Ben drew. And it's not great. Too many vowels there and a U. So is Gov better than Vog? That's an interesting question. I mean, Vog does score 2 more points. I think the point that Ben was going for there by playing Gov is to make it literally impossible to overlap and go down to the lower left-hand triple word score, and that preserves the value of his S really, really effectively. So if ever you're going to sacrifice 2 points there to do something like that, that does make a lot of sense to me, to make sure that your S just remains this pretty devastating play, especially with SP on the rack, which is kind of nice. Should Ben, and in this situation, Ben has an option to play his S here and make sinks as well. But I think he's going to keep it to try to continue to hit that really big play at the bottom of the board. But oh wow, Whitley's got a nice rack here.
And I would say, how long will it take you to find his bingo? Can you find it?
Let's see. Can I find? Oh, I do see it. Yeah, it goes to the eye.
Pretty cool.
That's cool, really neat. Really neat.
So we don't have to spoil it yet. I'm sure someone will spoil it in the chat in a sec. But David does have a bingo, and it might not be exactly where you think it is.
Yeah, very cool.
We know that Sidewinder finds like a lot of bingos.
He finds
a lot of bingos.
Yeah, he's pretty reliable for sure. So yeah, I think Whitley will eventually work his way around to spotting this. I think this is one of those where he's going to be looking for bingos all around the board. Eventually, he's going to get to off the beaten path and find this, I bet. But it's not a lock. This is a weird seeing that there is a bingo to the eye of Adicule is not something that you're immediately thinking of when you see this rack. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets there.
Yeah, I think this is more of like you see this, you're like, oh, so often when I have this rack, Digerati just like jumps out. I should look for an eye. It's not gonna be like there's an eye. I wonder if I can bingo to it, right?
Yeah, true. So we shall see. Yeah, Liz Pounds. I'm not sure. Lispund. That was a big one.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's funny too because Ben played a word that kind of rhymes with that, right? Like all he had to do was move that S slightly down and then move all the rest of the letters of sound down one place, right?
Yeah. So now if he comes,
okay,
he has it looks like he missed the spot. I will say Ben tends to show up in stream chat after a game. So this might be awkward when he says, so, y'all, what did I miss?
How'd I do? Yeah.
We're going to be like, well,
there was one thing. Yeah, there was one thing.
You got pounded by something.
Yeah. But obviously this is a miss here for David Whitley. That gives Ben a little bit of life that there's no way that he's going to know what Whitley had, but Ben did dodge a bit of a bullet here that preserves his chances. He has 2 S's, and again, he did set his big S hook up at the bottom of the board. So even though he's down 100, and David Whitley is sort of on the verge of bingoing at some point. Oh, we're going to see poos here. We saw some other bodily functions before, and let's just fill out our bingo card. Why not?
Yeah. I will say in double challenge where you lose a turn, I might consider playing Sonoras there, given that David being from both Texas and California and the desert, and
you
could
think
certainly...
that would make him less likely to?
I don't know. I'm just saying I would consider it.
Yeah, interesting. It looks word-like. So, yeah.
4 games tomorrow. It appears that Benji might now have an orphan.
Yeah,
it does play, but in kind of old-timey Scrabble parlance, orphan means a 7-letter word that does not play. It obviously does play on this board, but he did in fact draw an orphan. He literally has those tiles. So can't really argue against me on this.
That's a good point. So yeah, orphans with the archaic 2-letter word ST. That's a really valuable one. Anyone that's been playing Babel Royale, I'm sure has learned the word ST pretty quickly, and just as useful in Scrabble as it is in that game. So, all right, nice spot of turf there for 29 points. The only issue with it is it leaves him a little vulnerable to vowel draws. I think it's pretty reasonable for David, though, to play that. I'm just wondering, like, what else would he play? I was thinking maybe he might play something like frame and bell at the top of the board. But this is reasonable to play turf and block that S in the upper right. That makes a good deal of sense too. But orphans, here comes orphans to cut the gap quite a bit. So the score is going to be not nearly as daunting to Ben now, and we'll just see what he's able to draw out of the bag. That'll be a big difference maker here.
Yeah, though it looks like Omov will come down pretty quickly for David, I'm sure, which is a great way to score points and not open much.
Yeah, Omov looks good. Also want to shout out the play of Beam parallel to Orphan.
Yeah. Nice.
That's another option. Omov certainly gets all the clunkiest letters off the rack, and Beam leaves you with your clunkiest letters, but it scores quite well.
Scores all of the points.
Let's see what Ben's drawn here. A J. Pretty good letters. Where does he have any real scoring pop with them? Looking around, not seeing yet. So yeah, who's the body language? Benji's body language. Hopefully now, after getting orphans down, he can regroup and say to himself, you know what? I'm still in this game if I get the next bingo down.
Yeah, so, and since David did play Omov, it does leave JIHAD, which seems like it would be the pretty simple scoring play that offers more.
That looks great. In the future. Yeah, looks really good. So the real question, though, is David has jibe on his rack. Is he going to have a pretty easy play? Ooh, man, he has cabinet now. I'm not sure if that fits anywhere, but it's kind of dangerous. Once Ben plays JIHAD, what is going to be playable from the J down there? I'm just looking.
Yeah, almost some bingos even, but...
Yeah, almost. Like there are a bunch of J words like abject and bedjant and stuff like that, and none of them fit right.
Yeah.
Jacent.
Oh,
there
Jacent.
We go.
There it is.
Jacent, very nice.
From one of our top Collins lovers. When I think about people who just love Collins, that is who I think of as.
Of course. So, all right, wait a second. Where did the Ben's J go? Oh, it's in his hand. Okay, I was going to say I thought he put it on the board. So all right, hold on. Let me give David Whitley his points for Omov because he got a whole bunch of them. He's at 328 now to Ben's 258. Even 70-point differential between the two players. So Ben can really cut that. So Jacent, if Jacent is really the only play with the rack of cabinet that goes down, I'm not 100% sure. Like, that's not a lock that David Whitley will see that word. And if he doesn't, I don't think he has a great way of doing very much there. So this is, oh man, oh no. JAFFA is Okay, this is
was this taken out?
I
mean,
don't
it is
know.
very much like a word of not liking people. No, it stayed in
I
because
guess it's in, yeah. So this is a pretty big error, I think. So JAFFA for 28 points compared to JIHAD for 48. That's an enormous scoring gap, and I don't think that the hanging the J and the triple lane thing, that's bad, and it's definitely going to cause Whitley to score much more frequently after JIHAD, but I don't think that is worth the 20-point sacrifice here.
Yeah.
So
Here's the question for you, Will. For people who know what JAFFA means, do you think that Nigel Richards, who is a Ronzer, has ever called someone a JAFFA? That is a question I will leave you with.
I would say definitely never, like, verbally. I'm gonna say he's never said it, but I bet he's thought it at least once.
You bet he's thought it?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I do. I bet he's thought that somebody is a JAFFA at least once or twice.
Yeah.
So yeah. So not to get too not to spell that acronym out, but JAFFA is an acronym for just another Aucklander, and then there's an F in there too.
Yeah.
F's in chat.
Friendly, right? Just another friendly.
Yeah, just another
Aucklander.
friendly Aucklander.
Yeah. Just another fig jam Aucklander.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic word. I've missed, I think, against you in a game online at some point. So anyway, so JAFFA, I don't think that was an active choice over JIHAD. I think you need the extra points here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, not all the time does your opponent have a play to the J. So you can definitely get situations where, in Ben's shoes, you can outscore your way back into this game by playing JIHAD. Your opponent doesn't have a play there, and you've hit the J again on the next turn. But instead, we're going to see a pretty nice play underlapping. Wow, that's actually going to be a lot of points. Yurd under there after Whitley's bar in the upper left. So game score is very close. 326 to 350. Let me get you guys the tracking from David Whitley's standpoint. He has he has a bingo here.
Yeah. He has a bingo. I'm gonna call Marlon out a little bit, who says the commentators wrote off to Rust, and I would go ahead and say I think Will's been more defensive of the Rust than me. I've been saying these people live with other Scrabblers, play with other Scrabblers, and I don't think it was Rust. But
yeah,
I'm gonna keep my.
I'm on the Rust train. And I respect anybody that's a little bit less charitable, but I feel a little bit rusty myself, and I'm imagining being in that seat that the players are in and missing something that I know I shouldn't, and feeling like it probably would be because of a little bit of rust on my part. And I feel for them, I feel for these players, but I do understand it that, it is, part of the gig to try to stay up to date on your word study and word knowledge. And it's I think the level of play has, on the whole, been quite good today. So
yeah, definitely. If we just looked at everything between just yesterday and today, it would stand to reason that that Rust was involved. But that was a hot play, but not the right one.
That was a hot play, but yeah, I think Entodic, if David Whitley had spotted it, that would have put this one away pretty conclusively. But now this gives Ben a little bit of wiggle room to potentially make a fish or do some other clever thing to try to secure himself the win. That comment by Joel, I will agree with. I would say, given the players involved and the level of play we're accustomed to seeing from those players, it was a bit surprising by that basis. Yeah. So, wow, Ben plays really fast. He doesn't seem to be that interested in thinking super hard here. I mean, I feel like there were at least some moves to consider, and he has 10 minutes on his clock to do so. So Yeah, that's interesting.
But I think Ben will be the first to tell you that he does get kind of streaky.
Yeah. So we'll see what Ben draws. Let me show you the tracking from David Whitley's POV now. Stand by for that. It's coming. So it actually is a pretty good set of letters from David's POV, just because there are not very many consonants. So that's the upper right is showing you the tiles from David's POV, and you can see there, I guess there are a few threatening things, but it could be much worse. And in point of fact, Ben does not have anything that I'm seeing.
He has EAU and AUE. That's what I see.
Yeah. Kenji says, listening to Will be so charitable is kind of amusing when you look at his annotated games. Yes, I'm trying to be more charitable to myself as well, which I assume that's a reference to the fact that sometimes I can get a little down on myself when I make certain mistakes. But I think in general that I've mellowed out a little bit with that. I'm not quite as enraged when I see myself make mistakes. Trying to realize that there's a happy medium between not being satisfied with making a level of mistakes that I think I shouldn't be making, and also feeling bad at, trying not to make Scrabble an unpleasant experience for me. So always trying to find that balance. Yeah,
and I think that's part of it, right? I mean, I think both you and I have moved much further into a different role within the community, right? We're not. It's hard to justify the level of needing to feel like you're playing perfectly every game if you're not actually playing outside of tournaments, right? And if you're not studying as much,
For sure.
I play once a week, right? That's it.
Yeah. It's a fair point. There are lots of these tournaments that I have been covering in other ways than playing and streaming that. So it's true. As we see Theik be played, and I'm pretty sure that basically David Whitley took a look at his tracking and said, man, I really don't see very much available in this pool. And it looks like Ben is going to challenge. Let's see if we can get challenge cam. This is our golden chance.
Yeah.
Can we get challenge cam?
Do you think that's pronounced Theik or Theik?
There it is. It's challenge cam.
Come on. Oh, wait. It's
but
not
it's a
the people we
challenge.
were expecting.
It's a different challenge.
Ooh,
okay, no
unerring.
worries. All right, somebody in a different game challenged unerring, and now we're going to see
and play was valid.
The relevant challenge here, which is Theik. I would say Theik, and you see it is valid. Beautiful. Challenge cam. So all right.
That's 10 points.
I guess there were a handful of Ben could have had rearouse or something from the R of Yurd. Like, is it possible that blocking for David Whitley was better than just playing Theik? I mean, I'm not sure, but maybe it's possible that blocking was a more winning play, just given the situation. I don't know. Hard to know. We'd have to look much closer at the pool.
Yeah. So Ben seems pretty checked out at this point, given that he just threw in the towel, even though he's down by a bingo at most.
Well, the bag is empty after.
Oh, sorry, bag was empty. Okay, yeah. my bad. I did not realize.
So that would explain it. If ever there was a reason to be checked out, this is that reason. So David Whitley after Theik and the challenge up to 425. Ben after his play of a C up to 369. Nice. And David Whitley has Omen plus another E. I don't think he can go out here.
Yeah. So I guess, you are supposed to just play HE there, right?
Yeah, I think not emptying the bag and not losing to rearouse has to be better. But this, that's not, I don't think there's too many other situations of Ben having bingos there. So it's like the difference between, 100% win and 98% win or something like that, which obviously that doesn't feel very good when Ben has the bingo and you lose the game. So those are the sorts of situations where if you get them right on a consistent basis, 100 times out of 100, you're going to win 2 games that another player would lose.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna put your charitableness on the spot here. If and when Ben comes into the chat, which person in our chat is going to be the first person to tell him that he missed list pounds?
So which person in our chat?
In our
or
chat.
The 2 of us?
Oh no. Well, I'm not gonna say it. So.
Okay. Well, I would definitely say Jello Mochas would be number 1.
I would have said Jello Mochas as well. So I guess there's no bet to be had here.
Yeah. Okay. So we're agreed on that. But outside chance that it would be Scott Jackson to deliver the bad news to Benji in a way that only he can. So we'll see. I would think, though, that if Ben is really sort of not feeling it here, and I don't know, maybe he won't come to Twitch chat. I'm not sure.
He might, is possible.
Yeah. So either way, this was at the very least an interesting game. There were a few moves at various points that were kind of fun to think about one way or another, but certainly a couple of misses on the part of both players, frankly. A couple bingos at various points. Digirati and Entodic for David Whitley, and of course list pounds for Ben. So so all right, looks like Neem is the play for 25 points, the highest scoring play for David Whitley. And Ben plays, and Ben plays Rune. I think Ben is a RuneScape player, if I'm not mistaken.
Still?
Or at least a former RuneScape player. And that's going to be it for this game. David Whitley, 450 to Ben Schoenbrun's 387.